Hey guys, welcome back. This is day one or day two, uh, day after my prologue video yesterday. Don't know how often I'll be able to put these up, uh, but doing well. I just kind of woke up this morning. I literally woke up 30 minutes ago, got some breakfast in me and some coffee, and I thought I'd just jump in and start playing a little bit. Played about an hour and a half yesterday. Um, and as I make these videos, Um, probably going to come up with a more structured order as to how I'm doing them, but I'm going to throw some stuff at the um, uh, throw some stuff at it to see what works and what doesn't, what's easiest to do. I did pull up briefly. I posted the video about 3 a.m. and already a couple people have responded. I actually haven't read those responses yet. Um, to be honest with you, I wasn't awake yet, and then I booted this up, started the record, and then remembered that there's some replies. So I'll be checking out your comments for the prologue earlier, and hopefully these videos will slowly over time get a little bit better. So, um, two things that I did yesterday, and I'm trying to make uh, the videos quicker to make. So as I was playing with my new character, I took some snips, and then as I was going along, I wrote down a few little notes um, that I might bring up during the video. So let's just jump in right away. This is going to be a very straightforward video. I did make up my new character, and ironically, let's see here, blah, 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 blah. We're going to go ahead and play now. Um, and I actually named her after my uh, the, my old dog Amanda Rose, and because I mistook calling Maya, who's asleep or down at my feet right now, yesterday, and so my first character coming back is Amanda Rose. It's coming up here, maybe. Hello, I hit. It says client is running, but I'm not seeing a client. There she goes. There it is. So, and I'm going to try to get a little bit better at controlling these controls. So I'm going to change. Now I only use the basic um, OBS, but hopefully now you don't have to see my ugly face as much. And let's go down to my normal spot down here, way back in the day. So this is Amanda Rose with the Z. I think I might actually, on one of my old accounts, have Amanda Rose as my another character, so that might be already taken by me. Um, but I did have some thoughts as to the player experience, that sort of thing. So let me just, while that's booting up, I'll pull up my notepad here. Notepad. There we go. We'll throw that up here. And can I change the font on? Just use a notepad. Nothing special. I know there's other stuff that's out there, but I'm all for using the simple stuff. Okay, so can you change the font size? Maybe I'll go to something bigger. Can you change the font size in this? Yeah, not a big deal. So, um, couple of things. There's been a few changes since I was playing before. Um, ooh, I think I've got to go get my free stuff. There it is. Yeah, I gotta get my free stuff for the day. That's always been one of the big things with Eve. Always get your free daily free stuff. Um, oh, I love coffee. I really do. This is even the basic Aldi's dark coffee. I wasn't able to get to Costco this week, and so I had to just get some basic coffee to tide me over till I'm done with the work week. Um, but so let's see here, my notes, so I don't go rambling off. Where are you there? There it is. So, couple of things that I did. And as I was doing it, I had some thoughts while I was doing it. I created my new character. It is Amanda Rose. Let's pull her up here. There she is. She's coming. And she'll be there sooner or later. I actually use the randomizer for creating her face and stuff. Um, I honestly, out of all of the characters that I've ever made, I have never used the randomizer. I always sat back and kind of took my time trying to create it. This time I just clicked through it like 5 times and I went, I like that one, chose it. And I chose Galente. And I'll get into that here in a little bit. I'm not going to go super deep, but as my faction, I chose Galente. Um, and so I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But as I was doing it, I also took a few snips. Let's see here, so that I can remind myself. La da da. And this will get better. I'll get more organized. I just kind of wanted to jump in and do a video today. Snips for vids. There we go. So, first snip I took yesterday that made me think that might be good little things to talk about in the video um, was about the training queue that I had set up. And then the second snip was kind of a funny one. Okay. Um, that one I'll save. Well, no, actually, that one I'll talk about right now. This is really kind of funny. So, if you watch my last video, I talked briefly about why I stepped down from being a manager at Amazon. And then, of course, when I pull up my YouTube channel to uh, upload my video from yesterday, at the top right hand corner, it says, Planet Head, you're a manager. Basically, I'm a manager of the page that controls my YouTube videos. But it just made me giggle because literally like 5 minutes after, maybe 5 or 10 minutes after making the video saying that I'm not a manager anymore, um, I pulled up that page and it says, "No, Planet Head, you are a manager." So that made me giggle. It's probably I'm probably the only one that's giggling about that. But and I will do a final shout out at the end of this video to a friend of mine that also um, was important to why I had a big change of life. So, um, but okay, so we'll get into the training queue because I that is down here. Took some steps. Okay, so actually this goes right along with it. I'm glad I made this list. I'm so glad I made this list. So, I set up my skills. Uh, And my first thought was how many new players out there um, start using their skills. And I think we've all done this, maybe even with multiple characters, not only with this game and others, but especially with Eve, um, where you actually have wasted amounts of time at the beginning for your skill queue. And the perfect example, when I was doing um, the new player experience, they give you the skill for repair systems, and then they give you repair systems too. Now, yeah, it's only, as you can see here, a little bit over an hour. I actually skilled it this a little bit for both of those, so you're not really wasting a lot of time there. But repair systems is not, while very, very important, maybe a couple days from now, is not incredibly important for that first day's launch. And so what I ended up doing was going in quickly because I know to do this is I went in and loaded up on my social skills because I'm probably going to be doing some missions at the beginning and having your social skills up, um, which I need some of in the real world, social skills, uh, um, is important to um, increase your faction standings. So that got me thinking, well, how much time do people waste doing skills that they're not sure about. And I know that the new, um, and it's not new anymore, the Air Career Program. And I can go ahead and minimize this now. You can see I am probably going to change some of these today. But I got it up and running, and I think I just finished off Social Skill 3, which I can maximize. That's maximized out for an alpha. Now I can start going and doing my career missions and other missions and get the full bonus of doing those missions to my faction standings. Other skills that could be very good for me are also there's a skill out there, I think it's called negotiation, which will increase the amount of bounties that I get, that sort of thing. Um, but I was thinking when you go into it's the Air Career Program, where is it here? Boy, it's been a while. Um, I think I need more coffee. It's not here. It has to be. It's not the agency. It's the new thing. It's the new thing where they agents and missions exploration, where they give you your skill paths. Oh, I think it's just in your skills area. You just have to switch it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. You can tell I don't plan these things out. Um, but with the skill plans, they give you these skill plans here. I think it would be really cool if they had a skill plan, or there's probably corporations out there, but a day one skill plan to get you up and running. But maybe that's part of the learning curve of Eve. It's just I think of a lot of times there's a lot of wasted time that's out there that people use, and maybe they skill into guns that they're not going to end up using because the tutorial told them to. Um, Maybe somebody who was booting up the game and they're reading it, but there's a lot of reading at the beginning, and they see that the Minmatar ships are really cool. And they like the rusty types of them, so they boot them up and they go through the tutorial and they set up the projectile weapons, and then they realize that they actually like flying around in a Mars space and flying, even though they don't like the ship look as much, they like flying using lasers. So now they've wasted all that time. So I almost wish there was some sort of uh, preset way of asking you what you would like to do. Then it got me thinking, and that's where I kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. And it's some things that I'll probably do while I'm not playing, and that is, um, where is my notepad here? Um, Over the last 4 months, while at 4 or 5 months, uh, while I wasn't playing Eve, um, I was actually playing Fallout 4, getting back into it. I had watched the TV show and I was playing it. And you get into watching YouTube videos, and there's a lot of videos out there for perfect startups for Fallout 4. Now, there isn't a perfect startup, but watching them can give you an idea of what you want to do. So I did a quick search online and did find um, a video out there by Captain Benzie. I literally spent like 2 minutes Googling, and Captain Benzie's always done some good long videos, and very enjoyable to watch. He's got a much better voice than I do, and a lot of good information out there. And he did post one up about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, of starting off in Eve in the right facet. And I will put a link to it down in my description if I remember to. If I forget to, please let me know and I will fire it in there. Description of this video. Um, I will say about the first half of the video, um, I really was really well structured. The second half, he goes down one route where he's talking about the ships that you can fly, and your skill paths to get to those ships. And that is a route. And that's the tough part when you're doing videos like this. It's very easy to start them, but once you start branching, you know, it, you're not sure. And he went down the ship route, whereas if somebody wanted to be an entrepreneur, you'd go this way. If you want to be a miner, you would go this way. So he went down, and I think it might be the most basic way, but he does go down that road. So if that's not something you want to do, but the first 15 minutes, he does a very good job of explaining the basics of getting started up with Eve, if you want to get started. But if anybody out there wants to make a video um, for getting on the perfect start for Eve, I think that would be a really good idea. Maybe there are some out there. If you see some, fire it off in the comments. Um, Obviously, Eve changes all the time too. Um, so, but that is out there, and I'll put that link to that. The couple things that he did say in that first part, which I really enjoyed, more coffee, is if you watch old videos or old things, long term, who you choose as a um, faction is not that important. But short term, in my mind, it is. And getting to those long term goals, setting up your short term basis is. And the most important things are that um, when you choose a faction, it sets you up in a school or an area of space that gives you access to the things you want. This is incredibly important, I think, for brand new players or returning players, because let's say like that initial guy that I was talking about before, who likes the look of the Minmatar ships, but really likes shooting with lasers. They're on opposite ends of the galaxy, and um, if you start off over in Minmatar space, you've got to spend time going through the schools there, and then maybe go all the way over to faction space in Amar, where you can actually get the equipment that you want to fly. And the other thing being that each one of the factions, and this is just my remembering, um, each one of the factions' areas of dominance is a little bit different. Um, and that can be a major factor as far as starting off the game. Um, in general, you've got the Amarian cluster, which is the largest cluster, as long as things haven't changed in 6 months, I don't know yet, of NPC space um, that you can fly at high sec space. And then it mi so it might be more of the easiest spot to get started with. Then I think of like the Galente as the second easiest, um, because you can get, if I'm remembering correctly, I always found it easy to move around in that area and go from place to place. Um, the third one would be the Cal. Well, as far as ease, I would actually have to say Minmatar, because even though it's not as large as the other ones, it's fairly compact and you know where you're going to be at, and you go from spot to spot. And then, so while Minimatar doesn't give you the options of getting the best equipment and things, it does give you a fairly basic area. So, and then finally, Caldari, in my mind, back in the day was one of the tougher ones to start off with, even though you have Jita, where you can get almost anything you want. Um, I think Jita was in Caldari space. um, if I remember correctly, the systems or the not systems, the regions like Black Rise and a couple other ones, they have a limited routes to go through or to get from point A to point B. And sometimes you had to circle around and go longer distances to get to point A to point B if you wanted to stay in high sec. Um, a little bit tougher to get around it now. Maybe I'm wrong with that. It's been quite a while. Uh, but so I went with Galente, only for the fact that um, I've always liked them. The irony is they're my least favorite type of, like, least favorite ships for what they look like. Little, a lot of them look like little blobs. But I always liked drones. I always liked hybrid weapons, and I've always just enjoyed flying them. And then I also like the fact that I can be near Dodixie, if that's still a major trade hub. and I just found it easy to live in those areas. So I went for plenty just to get started off with. So, but if you get a chance, I will put it in the description. I'll put Captain Benzies vid in there. If I find other people's vids, I will point them out here. I'm going to find other people's vids because a lot of my time, I'm going to probably spend more time watching Eve videos than I do um, playing the game. Um, for example, today, right now, it is 12:15. It's a Wednesday, but it's my Monday of work. I'll be going to work in about 5 hours. Next couple days, I'll have a limited amount of time that I can actually play Eve, but I'll have time to actually watch videos on my lunch breaks and things like that. So, um, let's see here. I little notes left here. I did do the character experience. If I remember correctly, I did it once when they came up with this new character experience, and I enjoyed it the last time. And this, it's still not too bad. Um, with such an open game, I think the upgrade that they did about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, somewhere around there, it's a very nice update. I remember one of the stumbling blocks for Eve was always um, the first couple of hours that somebody plays. Um, and so it's not too bad. I'm not sure how they could do it any better with the type of game that Eve is. Um, so it just kind of jumps you in and gets you going right away. It shows you the beauty of Eve. The only thing that I think about it is during it, they don't mention the Sisters of Eve missions, and you can do that right away. And I think the big thing about the Sisters of Eve missions for a new player, the career arc, is that uh, it takes you all through all of the regions. So I wish they would either have something similar to that, not part of the new player experience, but a mention of it during the new player experience, or a mission sequence that's similar to that, that would give a new player the option of doing it to learn more about the game. I think that would be very helpful. Um, Instead of just throwing them directly into career missions. That said, um, I've got my set. I'm at my station for my career missions. I am completely debating on whether I've done the career missions so many times, and I know I could knock them out within a day. I'm debating on how many of them that I want to do. I know my first goal right now is to get a venture, which I could do. I think I already have one. We're going to check it out here in a second. But to set it up so that whenever I'm having conversations like this, or making videos like this, or just browsing the web, one of the things is I can just set my little venture over on the side, mine some ore, and work or do whatever I'm doing. That's one of the reasons why I'm going back into production. Um, and then I'll actively play other ways doing exploration and stuff like that. But the first thing I want to do is do that. So I know I'm going to do those career missions, but I don't know if I have the patience or the time really to do the other ones. They are a very big bonus, especially for new players or people getting back into it, because you get a lot of startup ISK and parts and skill books that way. Um, but I'm debating on whether or not I want to do that or not. So I'll be thinking about that over the next night or so. I'll definitely be doing the business career missions just to get myself up and running. Um, but that's that. Uh, that on top of that, then I'm trying to think of what I want to do going forward in the future. I just realized something. I've had this all down. I've had this sitting here for a while. And there we go. My other one is to, um, I only did this kind of once, if I remember correctly, to go through and work through the air career program. Now, if I were to work through it, I don't want to power game. And by power game, give you an example of it would be under the exploration. Let's see here. I think it's the exploration one. Uh, back, back, Explorer. You can, let's see here, find gas sites, if I'm not mistaken. One of these. Um, if you just sit in the training career path area, a lot of these you can just do without uh, even leaving. I think I want to not power game through them, actually try to go do these missions. So to go into some wormholes, to go to some data sites, that sort of thing. Boot up Project Discovery again, see what it looks like now, to experience the game. So, um, my first goal is to get up so that I have a miner that I can just set out there and be working. I think my next goal, until I come up with a better idea, is to start going through these career agent missions. And as I'm going through those, that'll create, I hate to say it, content or for my brain, which will actually be content for videos because as I do that, I'll be dumping them in here. So that's what my plans are. So let's see where we're at. Just give you guys an idea. And then I'm actually probably going to do my shout out for my buddy at the end. But then, there we go. So the character's name is Amanda Rose, Roze. And good, good, good. And I am in Trossair. So where is Trossair? Get a general feel for it. I'm going to probably be in this general vicinity for a little bit. Pull up the handy dandy Dotland. I, that'll tell you something. This is how important Eve is. So I still have Dotland as one of my major links at the top here, even though I have been playing Eve for like 5, 6 months. Um, so I'll show you the party. That's okay. Whatever. So let's see here. Crosshair in sync liaison. How long is the video here? I don't want to go too long because I actually want to play. Um, oh, we're at 27 minutes. So I'm going to end this fairly soon here. So search. Why are you taking so long? Sync liaison. I got a lot of space here to mess around in high sec. A lot of, this is what I was talking about. With the Galente, you get a lot of high sec space to mess around with. So last but not least, I'm going to give a quick shout out. And I say this quickly because I'm a kind of an emotional guy. Um, I know I talked in the last video about whenever I left being a manager, um, but this is where I want to say about taking care of yourself. Very good friend of mine passed away last year. He was a manager at Amazon, and it took me quite a while to realize my feelings on that. And I think that's one of the other major reasons why um, I actually left being a manager. And the reason being that he actually had a heart attack while working, and um, he was actually he was my exact same age, but a week younger than I am. And being a manager anywhere, if you've managed any people, if you really care about people, um, can be very stressful. And I could feel that stress. And this is one of the major reasons why I decided to step away from a lot of things and reevaluate what I was doing. Um, and um, he actually passed away, and it was his name was Chris. Great guy. He was uh, just one of those guys that always had people's backs, and I think he worried about doing the right thing so much. I remember him and I working um, down on the dock when he first started, and during COVID, and just being crazy, and us just trying to do as much as we could while things were going on, and just a great guy. Um, It's actually hard for me not to get emotional thinking about him. But I just want to do a shout out to him, um, and that's about it. But so you need to take care of yourself first. So even if you have things that you feel like you love doing, like I love playing Eve, I love being part of the community, but sometimes you need to take a step back and evaluate what you're doing. And I love being a manager, I really do, but I took a step back from both and really look at what you're doing. And I've actually gotten back into supervising now, but I'm not managing people. I'm supervising an area, and I'm I'm same thing with Eve. I'm I'm not going to be head of a corporation. I'm gonna play to have fun. I'm going to work to do things that we do. So that's my shout out. That's my end of the day. Um, I'm not sure when I'll post this video. I want to play some today, and then I got to get ready for work and get started up. So uh, it might be a day or two from now before I'm able to post it. But thanks so much for joining me again. If you want to, I will also continually have the link at the end of this video, but also at the beginning, if this is your first time watching these videos, to the playlist for the videos at the end. So other than that, hey, good to be back. Hopefully next video I'll have a little bit more. Um, Other than that, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however that you want, and I will talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.